Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Scroll Halters, a show where entrepreneurs, creators, and marketers share their best stories and insights. This show is brought to you by Social Marketing Writing, an agency that helps businesses with their organic and paid social media marketing on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest, and increases the customer lifetime value with email marketing. Today, I'm joined by Rory Stern, who is the founder and chief strategist at RFS Digital Media. He's one of the top media buyers who has either directly managed or overseen an ad spend of $78 million. Welcome to the show, Rory.
Thank you.
As,
Excited to be here with you.
as you've managed such a big ad spend, you probably know a thing or two about ads. So
Yeah.
my first question for you is, what is the most important component of a successful media buying strategy? Is it the ad itself, or is it the offer? Is it the funnel, or is it something else?
Good question. I think everything starts with the offer. You have to have a great offer before you can create anything.
Okay. And how does one go about creating a great offer?
That's a good question. Uh, I mean, a great offer really comes down to, I guess let's back up, right? I wasn't ready for this today. Um, so an offer obviously is everything that you put together when you are selling something to someone. Okay. It's the packaging, it's the support level, it's your delivery mechanism, it's everything. And so you have to be able to convey that to someone through your marketing and sales materials. What is it that I'm getting? What is the ultimate deliverable? And so how do you create that? Obviously, you have to think about, well, what's the bleeding neck problem that you solve? Right? What is the transformation somebody experiences from working with you? And that transformation that could be personal, could be professional, it can be financially driven, things like that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I don't
it's
I don't do a lot of I don't do a lot of talking about offers. So
okay.
um good good question to put me on the spot about what is an offer.
So when a client comes to you, the first thing you're looking at is how good their offer is and if you can improve it.
Not just can I improve it, but is it good enough?
Okay.
Is it different? I think a problem with a lot of offers today, a lot of ads today is that the offer isn't anything special. There's nothing unique or creative about it. It's the same thing over and over again. For example, people come to me all the time with fitness offers. Well, I want to work with people that make $250,000 or more a year that can afford my services, and I'm going to help them get in the best shape of their life. We've all heard that before. What's special about you? What's special about your process? Why should I give you $5,000, $10,000 versus somebody else? And a lot of people can't explain that. A lot of people don't have that. So that's what I have to look at first. How are you positioning yourself? How are you positioned? Can I do anything to better position you that will make people want to book a call with you, for instance?
Okay. Okay. And when you take on a client, how do you figure out if an offer is working? Do you ask them a bunch of questions to figure out if it's working, or do you just sort of do a test run with like a small budget to see if it works?
Yeah, good question. So traditionally, I'm looking for an offer that has proof behind it. In most cases, you've already been running ads, you have data behind it, you know your cost per registrant. Let's say it's a VSL or a webinar, you know your cost per registrant, you know your cost per call, you know what it costs to enroll someone, you hopefully have a back end. You want to be established. There's only so much I can do to help get things out there. and it's driven by data. Now,
Okay.
what I mean by that is like if you come to me, you have an idea and you've never tested it, I can help you figure it out. It's going to take a lot longer. And most people don't want to spend money figuring stuff out. They expect the media buyer to be able to figure it out in 30 or 60 days. There's no magic. I don't have any magic powers other than data analysis and being able to craft great ads. But even that comes from a great offer and knowing your numbers and what you're capable of doing.
Okay. And you've managed ads on multiple platforms, Meta, Google, and YouTube.
Mhm.
Is there any platform you prefer for running ads on, or
Well, I mean, for me, I definitely prefer starting out on Facebook.
okay,
That's a platform that I know inside and out, backwards and forwards, better than I'd say 99% of people who pretend to be Facebook ad buyers.
okay,
I also think Facebook is a good platform to start out on because you hear people say Facebook ads are easy, right? I'm assuming you've heard that.
I've heard that a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's a bit misleading. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, they're easy." They're not. It's not easy to get things working, especially today. What a lot of people mean by that, compared to all of the ad networks, Facebook is the fastest to get started, get data, and get results.
Okay.
Results could be good or bad. With Facebook, when I first started running ads 12 years ago, I used to tell people, give me $100 and 24 hours, and I'll let you know what we have.
Okay.
I could tell whether or not we had a winning campaign or not. And that doesn't mean we were printing money. It didn't mean we were a positive ROAS. It just meant I would get data back really, really fast and know what I needed to work on, how I needed to improve things. You
Okay.
can't do that today on Facebook. You definitely cannot do that on other platforms. Other platforms and Facebook is getting to this point now, unless you really know what you're doing, where it takes a good 30 days to know, do we have something here?
Okay. And you said something about 99% of people don't know, say they do know Facebook ads, but they don't. What are you referring to here? How are they, what sort of mistakes are they making?
Well, I mean, there's a good question. I think most of the people that are Facebook advertisers did so as it was pitched to them as a business opportunity. Meaning they attended webinars or signed up for trainings on how to make $10,000 charging other people to run their Facebook ads.
Yeah.
They got caught up in what was in it for them and not what's in it for the businesses. I say it that way because when you're running ads for people's businesses, their lives, the lives of their employees, the lives of their families are at stake. And I don't think a lot of people take that seriously. It's a great responsibility to actually go out and be able to take cold traffic and turn them into customers. So most people don't know what they're doing. It's evidenced by people who go into Facebook groups. How do I do this? How do I do that? Hey, I just signed a client. What's my first step? This,
Yeah.
this is, this is a profession. This is a skill. This is an art. You need to be good at what you're doing. Along with that, most of those people learned how to run ads one way, and they learned how to do it before iOS 14. Okay, the world has changed dramatically on Facebook ads in the last 2 years. Most people haven't figured it out, but they still want to make money doing it, so they sell themselves on it, and they can't get their clients results. They don't know how to communicate with their clients. It's and I don't. By the way, I don't pretend to be perfect. I'm not saying that I have success with every client I work with. That would be crazy. But I talk to prospects every single day who have worked with three, four, five, six people who wasted their money, promised on things they couldn't deliver. It's very common to hear that.
So how does a business go about finding a good media buyer instead of falling into one of these traps?
That is a very good question and something I've been asked for 10 years, and I've never really had a solid answer because everything that I will say are things that can be easily faked. So, for instance, at this point, almost every media buyer you talk to will tell you they've been running ads for 10 years. I've been running ads for 10 to 12 years. And I can tell you that 10 to 12 years ago, there were only a handful of people that ran ads.
Okay.
So who's lying, right? Who's making up the story? They'll tell you they spent millions of dollars on ads. I'm telling you, I've spent and managed over $78 million in ads. Um, so things I think you need to look for, or I always tell people, red flags. I think number one, anyone who tells you it's easy is a red flag. I think anybody that guarantees you results is a red flag. I think you need to look at the person or the agency's career. How long have they been around? Are they a year old, 2 years old? If so, because everybody has to start somewhere, what were they doing before? Are they riding the opportunity wave? It's kind of like, right now everybody's an AI expert.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where were you 2 years ago? Oh, you were a crypto expert. Oh, before that you were a high ticket expert. So you
Yeah.
need to see some longevity in their career. Hopefully you see case studies, but again, it's so easy to lie and make up case studies. So, seeing case studies, nothing. Um, Testimonials, nothing. You can make up testimonials. Testimonials can lie. Unless of course there are dates on the testimonials, but you can make that up. And I mean, like I've got YouTube videos that are 10 or 12 years old. You can't fake that. Um, so unfortunately, there's no surefire way to do anything. You just need to pay attention to, again, how do they talk about ads? And again, I think the big red flag is anyone that promises you results is or any kind of guarantee focuses on ROAS as you're talking to people who want to promise, overpromise and underdeliver.
And I think another thing is, I don't know if you mentioned this, that you want to find media buyers who understand the whole funnel and copywriting instead of just a button pusher.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's another great point is when I first became a media buyer, you had to have a certain sophisticated level of skill. You had to be able to analyze copy or offers. You had to be able to write great copy or work with copywriters who can. Most ad copywriters are terrible, especially on Facebook. Horrible. Most ads on Facebook are horrible. You need to be able to know how to read the data, make decisions based on the numbers and not emotion. You need to you need to be able to go through an entire funnel, including the back end of the business, and identify where is the problem. A lot of people will say, oh, well, we just need better ads. You may not need better ads. You may be great with lead gen. It could be the conversions that suck. You get a media buyer or honestly, again, an ad expert who pushes buttons. They're just going to keep creating ad after ad after ad after ad. A media buyer is going to sit down and say, listen, and come with data to the CMO, to the executive team and say, listen, these are the numbers. This is what's going on. It's not an ad problem.
Okay. So a media buyer shouldn't just be a button pusher, but also someone who's good with copy and also with analytics.
I think so. Again, you don't have to be. It's not required that you're good at copy to be a great media buyer. Again, you can be a great media buyer without that skill if you're coming from an agency. I just think we need to understand there's definitely a level up from order taker, someone who just does what they're told and just pushes buttons, to a more sophisticated marketer. I mean, at this point, we're talking, more along the lines, I think a popular term is like full stack marketer. You need to be able to go deeper than just pushing buttons to truly be effective at your craft.
Okay. What sort of skills would you say someone needs to be a full stack marketer? I think, what do they need to learn, you think? What are the other
Well, I think
skills?
I think well, it's kind of what we just talked about, right? You need to
Okay.
know what makes a great offer. You need to
Okay.
know how to say things to reposition an offer if it's not working. I met with a prospect today. They did $1.2 million in revenue last year. Or I'm sorry, last month. Pardon me. $1.2 million in revenue last month. They have a media buyer that is just running ads. Apparently, they were telling me their cost per call is $1,000. Their cost per enrollment is $9,000, and the guy's just collecting a check and not doing anything to bring it down. You hear numbers like that, and a thousand. If you can, if you're a company and you can pay $1,000 cost per call, you're doing something right. If you can pay $9,000 to make a $20,000 sale, you're doing something right. But your media buyer should also actively be working to bring that cost down. And if he can't, he needs to be able to communicate that to the client.
Okay.
Most people don't do that.
Okay. Okay. I think yeah, that was all. Yeah, I think this is all very helpful. Can you let my listeners know how they can find you?
Yeah, best thing to do at this point is find me on Facebook, Rory F as in Frank Stern, and you can follow me there. You can send me a friend request, and you can also check out my website at rfsdigitalmedia.com.
And you also have a service where you design unlimited images and video. Are you still offering that?
Yeah, so we have I spun off my creative team from my agency, and we create ads for other people that are designed to increase conversions. And that's unlimitedadcreative.com. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you for joining us today and sharing all this wonderful information. I'm sure my listeners will find it helpful.
Awesome.
Yep.
My pleasure.
Thank you for joining another call of Scroll Halters. Goodbye.